Good morning, friends. Welcome to Mr. Daddy Duties. So, today is a little different than what it's looked like over the past few weeks because I am actually en route to work. So, I have been home with my family since the birth of my son for the last 6 weeks. And today, I am returning back to the office, to my duties. So it's definitely very bittersweet. But I had to remind myself in kind of dragging my feet the last few days, knowing that I was getting ready to have to return back to work, that I'm so grateful to God that I actually even have a job that provides more than enough for me and my family. 5 years ago, or I should say almost 4 years ago, I wasn't in this predicament where I could be able to take the time away from work to be able to spend time with my family. Just, considering where I worked and what I did and all those other type of things. And so I decided to walk away from that job and pursue other endeavors, and was jobless for quite some time as well. But that allowed me to be able to be home with my little person. But I'm so grateful that I actually have a job that actually allowed me to take 6 weeks of paid family leave so that I can actually enjoy time with my family. And it was wonderful. It was hard. There were many moments where it was very difficult, having 2 children in the house under the age of 4, and my little guy, my mini me, he is full of energy. He is full of life. And we love him just as he is, but he loves his brothers so much. And so it's very difficult trying to make sure that he was giving his little brother the space that he was due without being all in his face. And it's still a work in progress, but we're happy that he loves him, more importantly, and not trying to harm him. But yeah, so I am actually en route to the office right now as we speak. Again, I have been home for 6 weeks. It was definitely bittersweet because my wife and I had been talking about me going to work all week, and I'm like, how do you feel? And she's like, not good. Like, I wish you were home with me. And I definitely do wish the same. But eventually she'll be going back into her private practice full throttle. And I think that's coming up here in the next week or so. And so we're definitely both returning back, but so definitely pretty difficult going back after just being able to be home for 6 weeks on, like I said, 100% paid family leave. And so now I'm going back to the office, do what I do best, which is provide for my family, and do what I do best at work. Get it done. I will say that initially when I was actually home, all of my friends, because they know that I work all the time, they were telling me that I was going to go crazy being home. And I felt like that literally like the first week. I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do here? I'm used to being at work. If I wasn't at work, before I got super vested into my career, I was a stay-at-home dad, so I didn't really care. And I remember telling my wife that I don't feel like I'm providing as a father. I don't feel like I'm providing if I'm home. And she reassured me that I was providing, and I put in the time to be able to actually have this time to be able to spend with them, which is why I was actually able to be home. And so once I got over that hump, that minor hump, I was like, oh yeah, I put in the time to be able to actually be home with my family. I've vested, I've have a little bit of time that I've been with my employer, and you know, in some ways, I'm definitely very, very, very excited to be going back to work. One, me and my wife was talking about it. You know, when you home with two kids, two little people, you are on all the time. And so, you know, now being a working father and, you know, shifting away from being a stay-at-home dad, I don't know how people do it. Although I did it for a year, but my little person wasn't as active as he is. So if I were to be a stay-at-home dad now, compared to what it was for me, you know, 3 years ago, I would literally go crazy. I cannot imagine being home 24/7 anymore, unless I'm working. Hint, hint. So, but you know, I have no idea what I would do. I will be going stir crazy, no lie, honest truth. My wife knows it. But again, I'm so grateful that I had this time to be able to take away. There are definitely many people who don't have employers that actually allow them to take the time that they need and that they should be warranted to actually spend with their families on a family leave. And I'm so grateful that I decided to join a company that really, really honors and embodies the essence of what it means for not just mothers to be able to be home, obviously, to care for their children and to nurture their children, but fathers to also be home, to be able to bond with their children, to be able to help their spouses and their significant other. And I'm just so grateful that I have this opportunity to be able to do so. Again, it's definitely very bittersweet because even last night, as I was talking to my son, I was letting him know that Daddy had to go to work tomorrow. And, you know, he understands that Mommy and Daddy have to work in order to be able to provide for him. And the way that we usually break the analogy down is that we have to go and make the money. And so we say, Daddy have to go to work tomorrow to go and make the money. And he's like, why? And I'm like, well, I have to be able to take care of you. And he gave me a little sad face last night as I was putting him to bed, and it almost messed me up. Like, no lie. It literally almost messed me up because I know that he's enjoyed the time just as much, if not even greater, that my wife have actually enjoyed being able to be home with him. So it definitely did mess me up when, you know, he got a little sad. But one of the things that I always have to remind him is that I'll be back. That is one of the things that is extremely important to my wife and I, that we reassure him. Just as the Father said that he will never leave us nor forsake us, that he will never leave us, that we will never leave him, we will always return back, because that is what we believe. And so I just had to reassure him that I would be back, Daddy would be back home. And so here I am, going back to work. And the benefit of me going back to work this week specifically is that it's Employee Appreciation Week. So that means that I'm going to get gifts and eat good, and be able to catch up with a lot of different people who aren't necessarily on site where I specifically work. And so I'm looking forward to that. And so I'm going to make it a great day. I definitely thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, so here we go. I'm back to work. Peace. Love ya. And y'all have a good one.